OPS on base plus slugging percentage at 970, but Sandy has challenged him with back-to-back heaters.
Man, that last one at 98, as you mentioned, but it wasn't a straight fastball. It had some tailing action away from Ohtani, and he swung right through it.
Ohtani 3 for 10 in that three-game series against the Marlins. 1-1 pitch. That misses outside. The number that jumped out about Shohei in that Marlins series last week, he walked 5 times in 3 games. I mean, it seemed like Marlins pitchers were very delicate with Ohtani, understandably so. 2-1 pitch. That one whacked at and missed. A good changeup on the outer half. A little bit elevated, but the count 2-2.
And he's not necessarily the guy that you want to give free passes to, Jack, because he has the ability to swipe a bag, as he did last year. He swiped more than 50 bags last year, so you don't want to walk Ohtani.
2-2 pitch to Shohei. That one cut on and missed. Sandy challenged him, and he blew 99 by Shohei Ohtani. That's Sandy, and that's out number 1.
I guess we know what Sandy's been working on. He threw Shohei nothing but fastballs. He threw him 1 sinker at 91, and the other 4 pitches were 97, 98, 99.
Ohtani goes down whiffing, and now he sees Mookie Betts, and Sandy's got a little swagger to that gate as he gets back to the hill. First pitch. That one, a diving sinker at 98, clips the inside edge, 0-1.
Looks like he's come out today, and he wants to establish his fastball, and also he wants to throw some strikes.
That's what he's been wanting to do. A 1 pitch misses low and away, and the number that is actually most jarring coming into this start, it's not the earned runs, although the earned runs are a little alarming. In 26 innings, he walked 17 guys. That's not Sandy Alcantara at all. Sandy steps off, and seemed like he and Fortes were not on the same page, and the crew chief Laz Diaz pops out from behind the plate and issues a pitch clock violation to Alcantara. So the count now 1-1 after Sandy and Fortes couldn't get on the same page. Here we go, 1-1 pitch. That one a curveball and a sharp one at 86, missed low and away, 2-1.
First breaking ball we've seen Sandy throw so far this evening. These are the counts that he has to stay out of, especially if he's going to throw Betts a fastball. Mookie Betts is one of your better fastball hitters in the big leagues.
2-1 pitch. Mookie lines one through the left side of the infield for a base hit. That was a sinker at 99, but Mookie can catch up to really any fastball, and he's aboard with a 1-out single.
Those are the counts he has to stay out of, Jack. He has to stay out of those predictable counts, because even though that fastball was 99 miles an hour, Mookie Betts took that ball and ripped it right back to the pull field. And now you know Mookie, who does not run nearly as much as he used to run, he might try to exploit the weakness of some of our starters that don't hold runners very well.
And now it brings up Freddie Freeman, the lefty hitting first baseman. Freddie has been as hot as anybody in Major League Baseball over the last week and change. First pitch, Freeman pops foul back out of play behind home plate. Freddie Freeman, over his last 9 games, 5 extra base hits, but he's hitting .455, and in his last 9, he's driven in 10 runs. One from Sandy has to wait. Throw over to check on Betts, and he's back in diving safely at first.
Freddie Freeman has one of the simplest approaches of any big league hitter in the show. All he wants to do is hit a line drive over the shortstop's head. That's all he tries to do. Anything else is a bonus for him.
He missed outside, the count 1-1, and guess what? He does it literally all the time. Freddie Freeman, one of his first years in Los Angeles, had 59 doubles. His first 2 years as a Dodger, he led the National League in doubles both times. 1-1. Freeman golfs one high in the air out to straightaway right field. It was more high than far. Sanchez drifting in a little bit, and he makes the catch with that bright blue leather glove and puts it away for out number 2.
No let-ups in this Dodgers lineup. Now you got to look at Teoscar Hernandez, followed by Smith. Their first 5 guys in the lineup are tremendous players. I mean, tremendous offensive players.
It's funny, like you go from 3 future Hall of Famers in Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, right to a guy that's tied for the Major League lead in RBIs right now in Hernandez. That pitch misses low and away, and then you go to one of the 5 catchers in big league history that's gotten a 9-figure contract. It is unbelievable how deep and how good the top-end talent is in this Dodger lineup. 1-0 pitch. Now, when a called strike, a four-seamer at 98 clips the outside corner.
I like what I'm seeing out of Sandy here this evening so far. Lots of fastballs, lots of horsepower in that right arm. Just about every fastball's been 98, 99 miles an hour.
14th pitch, Mookie on the move. That one cracked out to left center field. Stowers on the run. Stowers dives, and it pops off his glove. It's onto the warning track in left center field. Mookie did not break stride. He will score from first base, and Teoscar Hernandez has a double. It's his major league leading 34th RBI, and it's 1-0 Dodgers in the top of the first.
That was a great effort by Stowers in left field. It was a changeup that he was out in front of just a hair, but he got enough of it to rip it into the left center field gap. The ball right off the glove of Stowers. He wasn't able to close the glove and make the play. Nice job by Myers getting over there to back him up.
It was 106 off the bat, and that was the first run of the game, which is brought to you by ADT, the official security partner of the Miami Marlins. Make your home smart and safe with ADT and Google Nest products. That's trusted security from ADT and the intelligence of Google. For a home with no worries, go to ADT.com/Marlins or call 1-800-750-0647. Google Nest are trademarks of Google, LLC. The first pitch to Will Smith was fouled straight down on a curveball at 87. That double from Teoscar, by the way, off the bat at 106 miles an hour. 0-1. Smith started to check his swing, but he went around on a sinker inside. I think it also clipped the bat, and the count quickly 0-2. He ate a ball and 2 strikes.
Sandy's already thrown a couple of pitches that look like strikes. Laz Diaz behind the dish today, the veteran umpire.
As Diaz, the crew chief, we'll get Eric Backus behind the plate tomorrow. Ryan O'Nora in the series finale, but that one is cut on and missed. A tight-turning curveball at 88 miles an hour. Smith goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Sandy, but a run comes in on the RBI double from Teoscar Hernandez. Of Iowa. Now, there's a little caveat to that. He was a non-drafted free agent in 2020. Same deal with Matt Mervis, who's on this Marlins roster. That year, that MLB draft was shortened to just 5 rounds because of, the COVID cancellation of the overwhelming majority of the college season. Dreyer showed well, but wasn't good enough to be selected in those first 5 rounds. After that, just turned into a rocket ship through the minor leagues. First pitch. That one a called strike. Dreyer, 100 appearances in minor league baseball. He was 10-2 with a 2.18 ERA in 124 innings. He struck out 12 hitters per 9. 0-1 pitch is a bouncing ball over to third. Muncy plucks it on the back end. Throw cross diamond on target to Freeman, and they get X on the second pitch of the at-bat.
Dreyer also pitched very well in spring training this year. in the Cactus League out in Arizona, and that's one of the reasons why he made the team. Pitched a couple of innings against the Marlins when they were out west. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run, but he struck out 3.
Jack Dreyer, understandably so. His nickname is Maytag with the last name Dreyer.
Right.
Now he sees the National League Player of the Week, Kyle Stowers, who chops one on the first pitch over to second base. Has Sung Kim in his first Major League start, tosses to first. There are quickly 2 outs for Dreyer. Jack Dreyer, it's a simple pitch mix. He's slider and four-seamer. The slider is good. Opponents are 3 for 26 against it. The slider is good. The four-seamer opponents are 3 for 26 against. The number that jumps out about the four-seam fastball, the average launch angle against Dreyer's fastball is 35 degrees. Now, what does that mean? It means when guys are putting it in play, first pitch to Eric Wagaman misses just outside, 1-0. When guys are putting his fastball in play, it's almost always a pop-up to the infield or shallow outfield. This guy has a fastball that plays so well at the top of the strike zone. But a curveball dropped underneath Wagaman's bat. The count is 1-1.
He's got a curveball. He also has a slider, and when he gets ahead, he tries to elevate the fastball to get swing and misses at the top of the strike zone.
1-1 pitch. A rocket ship fastball that rose to about knee high, and the count is 1-2.
And one of the things about this Dodgers team, they will throw fastballs with 2 strikes. So if you're the Marlins, you need to be ready for your fastball.
1-2 pitch. That one a line shot on 2 hops up the gut right at Kim. The second baseman has it. His toss to first in time. And that is a sweat-free 1-2-3 inning for Jack Dreyer. Through an inning, Fish trailing 1-0 on the Marlins radio network.
Take it.
And pick up your order at the designated area. Available at select concession locations. Mobile ordering courtesy of Cantaloupe. First pitch to Max Muncy here in the top of the second was 96 on the outer half, blown by him. And the 0-1 from Sandy. And this is outside. He dialed it up to 97, but that was in the other batter's box.
It appears that the game plan that Sandy is going with tonight against the Dodgers is he's going to try to overpower them with good, hard fastballs.
1-1. One popped foul and out of play, 1-2.
Muncy batting just 186, but batting 333 in his career against Sandy with a couple of home runs. And yes, the question you were going to ask me, I do like the fact that he's come out very aggressive with his fastball today.
We only worked like a couple games together in spring training, but you got it already. 1-2 pitch. That one roped down the right field line. That is a foul ball.
And it's so key for him to get ahead. When the count is 0-1, the batting average against Sandy is right around 100.
Yeah.
But when he falls behind 1-0, 2-0, it goes up to about 500.
Wow.
So he needs to get ahead.
Yeah. Pitching staff for the pitching coaching staff. 1-2 pitch is in there for a called third strike. 99 on the upper inside corner, and Sandy has his third punch out. Man gone in a second, but the terminology used by the pitching coaches here with the Marlins is gaining count leverage. That's what they're calling it, and that just simply means the count needs to skew in your favor. Whether you are in the batter's box, it needs to get to 1-0, 2-0. If you're on the mound, it needs to get to 0-1, 0-2. Now, Andy Pages, first pitch to him is a dribbler foul, third base side.
This guy's having a pretty good year.
And he wasn't until he was. Like, this guy was hitting well under 200, and then he's turned it around. Andy Pages' last 9 games, he's hitting .432.
Right. He was player of the week last week, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. A 1 pitch is a bouncing ball down the third base line. That is a foul ball picked up by Paulie.
That sink piece today that Sandy is featuring is absolutely filthy. I mean, it's 97-99, and it's running in on these right-handed batters. They really can't do anything with it. The pitch that Teoscar hit for a double that drove in a run in the first inning, that was a changeup, but they have not done much against the fastball.
Marlins trailing 1-0 in the top of the second inning. And that changeup, Sandy fired in at about 90 miles an hour. Teo put it out to left center field at 106 miles an hour. 0-2 to the Dodgers center fielder Pages. That one again, a bouncing ball foul, third base side.
This Dodgers team got into Miami very late last night after playing Sunday night baseball in Atlanta. But it's something the Dodgers have to deal with every single year. They're always on Saturday national baseball. They're always on Sunday night baseball. Whenever there's a national game, the Dodgers, they seem to be playing the game, which makes their travel from time to time very difficult.
2 pitch. That one fouled back right side.
But that's what happens when you have the kind of team that they have. Most people want to see them on a nightly basis.
I was talking to my dad, and I told him, hey, with that 3-hour delay, they had first pitch fired from Spencer Schwellenbach on Saturday in Atlanta at about 10:20 p.m. 0-2. That one ripped out to left center field and deep. Myers on the move. Myers slows it into a jog, and he makes the catch. It's a hard line drive, but he's got it just shy of the warning track in left center, and there are 2 men gone.
Dane has been getting the same kind of jumps in center field that Derek Hill was getting in center field when he was healthy. And make no mistake about it, Myers, he's making a bid to play every single day.
Oh, yeah. It's been fun to watch, man. Sandy now seeing Michael Conforto, the 8-hitting left fielder, but I was talking to my dad, and he was like, oh, man, I feel bad for the Dodgers. First pitch misses low and in, and I said, I think you might be the first guy to say that in a few years.
Right.
But a 10:20 first pitch on Saturday in Atlanta, followed by Sunday Night Baseball. And they took their 2 airplanes here to Miami. One cut on and missed, a change up, and a good one from Sandy. Count 1-1. Dodgers are taking 2 planes, and they're the only team in Major League Baseball doing that. There is a pretty much players-only plane, and then staff, broadcasters, support staff, they take another jet. 1-1 missed low, 2 balls and a strike.
Now, I've heard of a players-only bus, but never a players-only plane.
Nature of the beast. Welcome to having a $700 million player on your team. 2-1, that misses outside, 3 balls and a strike. It was close, though, at 98.
It also helps when you're going to draw 4 million fans, too.
Yeah. And I was reading on Forbes, $70 million. 3-1 pitch, popped foul left side out of play. Last year alone, $70 million in new brand partnerships from Japan. $70 million in a year on Japanese brand deals. Unbelievable stuff. Marlins trailing 1-0 in the top of the second. And the 3-2 to Conforto. One hit in the air, foul left side, again spoiled.
And Conforto, one of those guys that's been struggling. And he's batting 141, but he has some decent numbers in the past against Sandy. He's taken him deep a few times. Most of those came when he was playing for the New York Metropolitans. But when you're struggling and you see a guy you've had success against, all of a sudden you feel like you're going to do a better job.
Hot shot right at the backhand of the second baseman, Sanoha. He's got it. Takes all the time in the world to get it to first base. And that ends a 1-2-3 inning for Sandy.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio.
And Steven Strom. I'm Jack McMullen. Dreyer seeing Sanchez in a lefty-lefty. Jesus did not start the last 3 games. That one missed up and in at 88 miles an hour, ball 1, as he was dealing with lower back tightness. But he came off the bench yesterday in that series finale against the Athletics. Here he is playing against the Dodgers. 1-0 pitch is whacked at and missed. A slider upstairs, a ball and a strike.
And this might be the last batter that Dreyer sees, the left-handed Sanchez.
1-1. That one off the end of the bat. Diving stop by Mookie Betts in shallow center field. The shortstop pops up, fires to first in time. And that is out number 1. Great play by Mookie, ranging up the gut. That's a Gold Glove right fielder playing shortstop.
And he's gotten a whole lot better this year. He worked in the offseason with Troy Tulowitzki. And Troy Tulowitzki taught him everything about the shortstop position that he knew. And Mookie, talking to some Dodgers people, has gotten a whole lot better over at the shortstop position because of Tulowitzki.
Did he make Mookie pay for that? I hope so.
He got enough. He got enough in his pocket change.
Man, if you're going to learn short from Tulo, it might take a couple of months. Dave Roberts takes the ball from his opener, the left-hander Jack Dreyer, and we'll see the...
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager...
Dodgers drew this thing up, huh?
Absolutely. And if you're As the manager of the ball club, Dave Robertson, you don't have all your starters. You have to be creative.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been able to do, not only this year, but he was very creative down the stretch last year.
Dodgers were dealing with so many injuries last year to their starting rotation. That first pitch to Connor Norby, lifted high in the air down the right field line. Long run for Teoscar Hernandez, and we will see that get into the seats. Out of play, just a long and high strike one.
Yeah, Norby out taking some early batting practice today, and one of the things that he was working on was driving the ball the opposite way. I don't know if you saw much of Norby before this year, but last year when he showed up in a Marlins uniform, he had that right field swing down pat. He's trying to get back to that.
One pitch misses upstairs. That was 96 elevated from the right-hander Kasperius. Yeah, Norby, I kept tabs and just kind of being a prospect nerd. One pitch. That one hit high in the sky, a mile high, out to center field. Andy Paje is drifting back to the track, and he makes the catch for out number 2. But that was a pretty good swing from Connor.
He just missed it. I mean, he left his bat at 103, just hit it way too high. But I think Connor is on the verge of kind of busting out. Of course, when you spend some time on the injured list to start the season, you got to have a few reps under your belt before you start to feel like you're in the flow again.
It's 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Marlins trailing with 2 men gone. And Kasperius, I'm seeing Dane Myers. First pitch to Dane. He squared the bunt, but he pulled it back and took a called strike one at the top of the zone.
Dane has had a fabulous week. Had it not been for what Kyle Stowers has been doing, we'd be talking about Dane a lot more.
Oh, yeah. 0-1. No one misses outside, but Norby to just tie a bow on that. I kept tabs on what he was doing in Norfolk as an Orioles farmhand, and this guy was always driving the ball to right center field, so we're looking to get back to that. 1-1. Myers hits it high in the air, foul, right side, not a play, 1-2.
Hey, fans, suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, and T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Miami Marlins.
Did you get any City Connect merchandise?
I did. I went down there yesterday, and I got a hat, and I bought a golf shirt.
1-2 misses up and in, 2-2.
They're sweet. I like them.
I love the pink and teal look.
305.
You got the 305
I got
hat.
the 305, partner.
Good for you. 2-2 pitch. That one pumped foul right side, tailing into the seats, out of play.
I was talking to Dane today, and he says one of the things that's really helped him start to hit all these high fastballs is he's kind of eliminated his leg kick. If you watch Dane swing now, if you come to the ballpark, he just kind of glides into the pitch. There's no more leg kicking. He's got to get that foot down, especially to hit the velo that he's been hitting.
He just got a piece of a pitch in the other batter's box. It was a cutter at 89, and he reached for that. The count remains 2-2.
It has never been harder to hit a big league baseball. I mean, most guys are 95, 96, 97. It's just not that easy, but Dane's been making it look rather easy lately.
2-2 pitch. That one lined into left. That's in for a base hit. Dane makes it look easy again. He's got a 2-out single.
He's locked in. He is just locked in. I don't care if it's a right-hander or left-hander on the mound. He got everything but the kitchen sink. Finally got a breaking ball at 84, and it was out of the strike zone, and he got on top of it and tomahawked it over the shortstop's head. How about that swing?
It's such a fun swing to watch because he can keep it flat, and that was a slider letter high, and the bat started at his shoulders and ended at his shoulders. It was a straight line through the top of the zone. That pitch misses outside at 97 to Graham Pauley. And the count 1-0 with the Dodgers up 1-0 on an RBI double from Teoscar Hernandez.
You can run against the Dodgers, even though Smith behind the dish is a really good hitter. He's not as good at throwing the ball down to second base.
They're over to check on Dane. He's back in, diving safely.
And when you're going up against the Dodgers, you got to exploit any weakness that they may have.
Small ball might win a ball game against the reigning World Series champs. 1-0 pitch to Graham Pauley. That one fouled straight down, 1-1.
Nice cutter at 93.
Kasperius is a nightmare against right-handed hitters, and he does that with the arsenal. I mean, this guy really doesn't have a changeup or a split in his repertoire. It's a fastball, a cutter, a slider, and a curveball. That one bounces foul back to the backstop, and the count is 1-2.
So pretty much his curveball is his changeup.
Exactly. And okay, what's the big similarity here? Well, everything is bending away from righties and in on lefties. That's created a little bit of a splits look for Kasperius. Left-handed hitters hitting .303, but right-handed hitters hitting $148. And runner on the move. That pitch missed outside. Dane Myers with a feet-first slide is into second with a stolen base. His 6th in 7 attempts this year.
It's something the Marlins have done a very nice job of this year, stealing bases. Tyler Smarslock, the first base coach, he also handles the infielders and the base runners. He has gotten these guys getting some really good jumps, and very seldom do they get thrown out.
And it feels like that's one that Clayton McCullough is going to pay extra close attention to. 2-2 pitch misses upstairs, and the count runs full. Clayton McCullough, the part of the brass in Los Angeles that helped turn Shohei Ohtani into that stolen base monster a year ago. Shohei had 59 stolen bases. Clayton McCullough, base running is one of his fortes, and Tyler, one of his proteges. That one misses low, and that's ball 4. So Kasperius comes on. He got a fly out from Norby, but then a single and a walk have runners at first and second with 2 men out for Nick Fortes.
I don't know for sure, but you just talked about how good Kasperius is against right-handers.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me at the fact that once he fell behind Paulie, base open after the stolen base, I'll put him on first base, and I'll go after the right-hander who just came off the injured list.
Okay, now counter to that, and I don't know if this means anything to him, but coming into this appearance in 21 2/3 innings, he struck out 23. He walked just 3.
Mm-hmm.
First pitch here to Fortes. That one cut on and missed. That was a good slider at 86. So
the good pitchers, they'll look at a lineup and they'll pick and choose who they want to mess with. And in this situation, there was no reason for him to pitch to Paulie with a runner in scoring position.
Right. I was thinking maybe there could be a little ego attached to that. It's like, hey, I've only walked 3 guys. 0-1 pitch misses low and away, but you're right. He could just, it's not waving the white flag. It's, I'm going to go get the next guy.
I was impressed with Fortes' at-bats yesterday, coming off the injured list after spending 20 days there. He had some decent swings. Before he left to go on the injured list, he was really hitting the ball well.
Fortes pops one a mile high. Foul ground, first base side. Freddie Freeman is there. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So Kasperius strands 2, and we go to the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1920.
Kim, the Korean-born second baseman, is not making his Major League debut. This is his 3rd game, but his very first Major League plate appearance. And the first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Haesung Kim was called up when Tommy Edman went on the injured list. Kim, who signed a 3-year, $12.5 million contract this offseason, has appeared as a pinch runner and as a defensive replacement so far. 1-0 pitch. That one in for a called strike.
He really struggled with the bat in spring training, which forced the Dodgers into sending him down to the minors. He had been swinging the bat a lot better in AAA. He's got tremendous speed. On a scale of 20 and 80, 70 is the speed that he has. So he's got some real good speed.
Wow. Those are, of course, scouting grades, right? The scouting grades, 20 and 80. You're familiar with that. That's a family business for you, huh?
I did scout some. Absolutely.
Scouted son, and then your son as well. Andrew, you were telling me a Tim Tawa story.
You guys were here. I scouted Mark Kotze in college. When he was
Really?
at Fullerton, yeah. I saw him pitch in college. I saw him play center field in college.
2-pitch
Before
to
the
Kim.
Marlins made him their number 1 draft choice.
about
I was
that?
working for the Arizona Diamondbacks at the time, though.
Sure.
And we had not started playing yet. And I took a job in 96. We weren't scheduled to play in 98. So the scouting director sent a bunch of us out to start to scout some really good players. I saw Travis Lee. I saw Eric Munson. I saw Eric Chavez, Jimmy Rollins.
His son Kim drills one high in the air out to right center field. Jesus Sanchez got to the spot, stood there flat-footed, and made the catch. And that is out number 1 in the career of his son Kim.
Our scouting director at the time, his name was Don Mitchell, and he felt like if he sent some of the staff out, some of the hitting coaches and pitching coaches out to watch players, it would give them a much better perspective when they drafted those kids.
You hear the round of applause?
I do. That was for me, wasn't it?
That was for you. That was for you IDing Mark Kotze. That one is a called strike, a very delayed strike call from Laz Diaz, but that's to Shohei Ohtani in the count. No balls and a strike.
Yeah, he has really been attacking Shohei tonight.
One misses low, a changeup. Sandy struck out Shohei his first time up. It was on high heat inside. 1-1. Ohtani fouls it back, redirected it to the backstop. 98 inside again in the count 1-2.
What I like about the fact that when Fortes puts that glove on the inner third of home plate, he's not missing the glove. He's going in there. He's convicted in getting that ball inside.
That's really important. We've had Jeff Nelson talk to us about that. Guys are a little afraid to go inside right now. And Sandy showing no fear. 1-2 pitch, missed inside. That bounced in front of Ohtani, and he got his feet out of the way.
Yeah, he really overthrew that breaking ball right there.
Why would he do that?
Trying to make too good of a pitch. Instead of just throwing it up there, letting it be free and easy and let the pitch do what it does, he tried to make a better pitch.
2-2 from Sandy. On a little tapper, right side. Ohtani on a dead sprint. Wagaman picks it up in foul ground, so Ohtani will peel off and head back to the left-handed batter's box.
Ohtani already with 8 homers and 9 stolen bases. He's ahead of the pace that he had last year when he set a new mark with 50 homers and 50 steals.
And it's hard to believe that he's ahead of that pace because it seems like he got off to a slower start.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, oh, Ohtani's disappointing right now. A disappointing Ohtani is like an 850 OPS. That's the same deal with Juan Soto right now.
Yeah, he has set the bar so high.
2-2 pitch. That just missed the outside edge at 99, and the count runs full.
Shohei has gotten most of the 99-mile-per-hour fastballs that Sandy has thrown so far tonight. He may as well come right back with that same fastball.
I would ask you why, but this guy is the easiest one to get up for in a lineup anywhere in baseball. Payoff pitch. Misses low. A good changeup from Sandy, but Ohtani showed discipline and took that shin-high change for a walk.
And now Sandy's really going to have to make sure that when he is thinking about Ohtani, he's thinking about Ohtani. But when you deliver that ball to home plate, you got to have your full concentration on Mookie Betts. You know Shohei's going to probably run, but you can't worry about that. You have to concentrate on Mookie Betts right now.
Ohtani, as Rod mentioned, 9 stolen bases. Those have come in 10 attempts. And Shohei 3 for 3 in the stolen base department in that Marlins series last week.
Just a couple of days ago, Sandy was throwing on the mound.
Shohei on the move. That a called strike at the top of the zone, and Ohtani into second base safely with a stolen base. Number 10 for him on the year, and he was off on the first pitch.
That was a good throw by Fortes. Just a great jump by Shohei Ohtani, a really good base runner. who steals at base successfully. He's off on first movement.
Shohei in scoring position, and Mookie Betts singled and scored his first time. The count 0-1 after that sinker at 98 clipped the upstairs part of the strike zone. 0-1 pitch.
I was getting ready to say that Sandy, when he threw off the mound a couple of days ago in a simulated game, they had base runners out there, and it was at his request. He wants to start to get better at not allowing teams to run at will against him.
1-1. And that one cut on and missed. A good curveball, 1-2.
Absolutely dirty. Now you can throw a fastball by Mookie Betts.
Sure.
In a 2-0 count, 2-1 count, no. But once you get 2 strikes on him, he's looking for spin. So now you might be able to sneak that fastball by him to get a pop-up.
1-2 to Mookie. That one a called third strike. 99 on the upper outside corner, and Betts frozen after that great curveball. That was a Sandy sequence, and there are 2 men gone.
I don't think he would have hit it anyway, but the fact of the matter is he wasn't looking for a fastball. He was looking for that changeup or that slider because Sandy had become so predictable with that changeup.
Yeah.
A lot like Edward Cabrera. Teams look for changeups against Cabrera.
First pitch here to Freddie Freeman, whacked at and missed. A good changeup dove off the plate. And you're right, it's all about breaking rhythm. It's breaking patterns for Sandy Alcantara, and it felt like he would settle into some patterns in his first couple of starts this year. Ohtani at second, Marlins trailing 1-0 in the 0-1 pitch. Freeman hits in the air out to center. Myers sprinting back. Myers at the track. He looks up, he jumps up, and it's gone. Freddie Freeman snuck one just over the wall to straightaway center field. That's his 7th home run of the year, and the 2-run shot makes it 3-0 Dodgers in the 3rd.
In reality, Jack, Freddie Freeman should not have been hitting. You got a base open. Shohei has just stolen second base, but the reason why they have to pitch to him is because Teoscar Hernandez is in the on-deck circle, and he's leading the world in RBIs. Otherwise, they wouldn't have pitched to Freeman.
You think so? Even into the 3rd inning?
Why would you? Why would you?
The way he's swinging.
Have you seen Freddie Freeman's numbers in his career against the Marlins?
Yeah. That one missed outside. I have. The OPS is over 900.
That's a perfect. That was the same situation last half inning when he walked Pauly.
Yeah.
He walked Pauly to get to Fortes.
Yeah.
That's how you pitch, but you can't do it against the Dodgers because they're so deep in the lineup.
1-0 pitch was yanked, low and away. The count 2-0 on Teoscar.
Freddie hit a home run in Atlanta yesterday, too, against his former team.
Freddie Freeman, the numbers against the Marlins are good, but as crazy as it sounds, it's pretty on par with his career numbers. 2-0 is fouled back, and that is how you get to the Hall of Fame.
He's headed there. They got the first 3 guys in the lineup are all Hall of Fame players.
Freddie Freeman, again, his 7th home run of the year. RBIs 22 and 23 for him. 2-1 pitch, one fouled back up to the radio booth area, and a nice grab by somebody a couple booths down.
Really?
Yeah, I think that might have been Dodgers Spanish radio that just made the catch on that foul ball.
How about that? Jose Mota?
Maybe. Might have been, Jaime Jarrín is the other guy over there, I think. 2-2. This is low and away. Counts full.
Hopefully Sandy doesn't shy away from contact. He's up to 59 pitches, which is quite a few, but this Dodgers team, they will tax you. And I told you before the contest today, they don't give away at bats.
3-2 pitch, a hard roller through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Teoscar Hernandez did not give that one away on a full count. He bounced a ground ball the other way, and he's aboard with a 2-out single.
You have to watch Teoscar. He stole 3 bases when the ball club was out on the West Coast, and he's not a base stealer. But if you forget about him, he'll try to swipe a bag, too. They've already stolen 2 bases today.
To your point, what we were talking about earlier in the inning, you said Sandy threw a live bullpen session with base runners.
Right.
With Derek Hill trying to steal on him, with a couple other guys trying to steal on him. I asked him, I was like, okay, when you say, get a little quicker to the plate, is that throughout the delivery? Are you talking about maybe varying your looks as well, try and keep guys off balance? He said, I'm just trying to get quicker to the plate. And that's hard for a 29-year-old to do when he has, 7 years of big league experience under his belt.
And he wasn't bad, though, on that one pitch that Shohei stole on. That was a close play. He gave Fortes the chance to throw.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Shohei's Shohei. And you got to tip your cap to a really fast baseball player at some point.
Stolen bases are way up this year. I mean, you got to go back to 1987, the last time teams were running as much as teams are running in 2025.
First pitch here to Will Smith. That one in on his hands, but he hits it out to left field. That's hanging up for Kyle Stowers, who is underneath. He walked a couple steps to his left, and he put it away to retire this side. So,
your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
alongside Rod Allen and Steven Strom, I'm Jack McMullen. Ben Kasparius is starting his first clean inning. He came on with one man out and nobody on in the second inning, but his first full inning will be the third, and the pitch to Javier Sanoja's in for a called strike one.
Yeah, Javier Sanoja has been getting the majority of the reps at second base, while Lopez has been down with that tender ankle.
For one pitch. And this is low.
He's a very valuable player. I mean, he can play all three outfield positions. He can play short. He can play third. He can play second. But none of that matters if you can't hit. And he can hit.
1-1 missed low and away. He can absolutely hit. Javi hitting .290 through his first 23 games this year.
There's a lot of guys that can play multiple positions, but they don't hit like Sanoja.
And from Kasparius. That one punched out to right center field. Teoscar got a good jump, and Hernandez tracks to the ball to make the catch. On that rising liner, it was hit well from Sanoja the other way. But Teoscar Hernandez, you mentioned, he can swipe some bags. Of course, he can hit the ball to the ballpark. He can go get it in right field, too. That's out number one.
Yeah.
Well, Kasparius will see the leadoff man for the first time today, Xavier Edwards, who bounced out to third against the opener, Jack Dreyer. Jack Dreyer went 4 up and 4 down as the Dodger, quote-unquote, starter. First pitch misses upstairs. Dreyer is a left-handed bullpen piece for the Dodgers, who just started his second career big league game. He opened a game against the Marlins last week when the Fish were in Los Angeles. 1-0 pitch to X. That one popped back to the screen, 1-1. Marlins trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the third.
The Dodgers have a pretty good pitcher that's pitching in AAA in the rotation right now by the name of Clayton Kershaw, who's healthy. He's healthy and he's ready to come back, but he can't come back yet because he's on the 60-day IL.
1-1 pitch. Whacked at and missed. A fastball upstairs in the count 1-2.
Yeah, very seldom do you see Xavier swinging a fastball up around his neck. He's got pretty good plate discipline.
Clayton Kershaw has I dealt with a variety of injuries over the last about half decade or so. But it's fascinating, and it's what makes him one of the greatest left-handed pitchers of all time. Whenever he's on the hill, after getting over these nagging injuries, whether it be a toe or a shoulder or a knee, 1-2 pitch, misses low and in, he's still throwing to like an ERA in the low twos. He's amazing, and it doesn't matter if he's not throwing 96 anymore.
He's special.
He's special.
No doubt about that. First ballot Hall of Famer. They got 4 Hall of Famers on their roster.
2-2. Now, a foul tip held on to by Smith, and Kasparius with a strikeout. That's his first. There are quickly 2 gone in the home half of the third.
Kasparius has a real good four-seam fastball. He likes to throw at the top of the strike zone with that good spin rate on it, and it's tough for the left-handers and the right-handers to catch up to that pitch.
When you think best left-handers ever?
Randy Johnson.
Okay.
Steve Carlton.
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax.
First pitch here to Kyle Stowers is in for a called strike. And then do we get to Kershaw?
Yeah. And Kershaw.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Now, he might even be one of those first 3, too, to be honest with you.
0-1. That one fouled back. The count quickly, 0-2. But it's amazing to think when you put together a Mount Rushmore of left-handed pitching, I think you can clear-cut say that it's Johnson, Koufax, Carlton, and Kershaw. And
he might even be in the front 3.
Yeah, one of my favorite phrases is appreciate greatness in real time. You know, we said it a lot about Nick Saban when he was coaching college football. Appreciate that you're watching the best.
Right.
Same with LeBron, same with Jordan, however you want to do it. Appreciate when you get to watch Clayton Kershaw pitch. 0-2, misses low and in.
The reason why I said Randy Johnson's name first is I broadcasted for the Arizona Diamondbacks when I started my broadcasting career, and I was there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Randy won 4 straight Cy Youngs. 4 straight Cy Youngs.
There are a couple of guys, 1-2 pitch, that misses inside. There are a couple of guys with 4-year stretches that I look at and say, how did anybody make contact with you? Randy Johnson, similar timeline, Pedro Martinez, and Sandy Koufax. Those are guys who put together these 3-4-year stretches that are just unbelievable to look at.
Insane.
2-2 misses upstairs, and the count runs full. Marlins trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning. There are 2 men gone, and the bases are empty for the National League Player of the Week last week, Kyle Stowers. Payoff pitch is fouled back.
We know that Kyle can handle velocity. He took Mason Miller deep just a couple of days ago, Saturday night. It was a wonderful comeback win for the ball club. And the pitch that he hit out of the ballpark for a grand slam was 102 miles an hour. So he can handle velocity.
3-2 from Kasparius. That one misses low. It was a cutter, and Stowers did not chase. So he draws the walk. There's a runner on for Eric Wagaman. And it's funny you say Stowers can clearly handle velocity, because last year that wasn't the conversation.
No, and he worked long and hard on that in the offseason, though. Yeah. He told me before the game today, his leg kick is one of the biggest problems that he has from time to time, just making sure that he gets it down in a time where he can really swing the bat. But he's in one of those zones right now where just making the game look easy.
Stowers with his lead at first. First pitch to Wagaman. That one hit high in the air down the right field line. That'll get into the seats and out of play.
Remember in spring training when every time we would talk to Clayton McCullough, he was just singing the praises of Wagaman. This was in spring training. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting. Finally, the season starts.
Yeah.
He gives Wagaman a chance to play.
Yep.
Now he can't get Wagaman out of the lineup.
He can't get him out of the front third of the lineup. Wagaman in the 3 spot. We've seen him hit cleanup. 0-1 pitch waved at, and maybe a foul tip held on to by Smith. Count 0-2.
When your manager's got your back, your manager's got your back. And Clayton McCullough, he had Wagaman's back.
Yeah. And we're seeing exactly why. Great chat with Wagaman today. Steven wore a special T-shirt for that. 0-2 is fouled back. You want to tell us what the T-shirt said?
Yeah, it's actually hanging up. I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagaman. And he signed it.
It was a T-shirt that was just hanging out on the internet, right? You and Kyle Seeloff found it when you interviewed Wagaman this offseason.
I remember I listened to that interview.
0-2 pitch. That one waved at and missed. Good slider from Kasparius, and he got Wagaman to chase outside the zone. So Ben Kasparius works around the 2-out walk, and we're through
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on
.52 average. Now, medical updates. Derek Hill, he continues to go through full baseball activity. Declan Cronin will have a pitch design session tomorrow. Yuri Perez will start in Jupiter. He's expected to throw a couple of innings, 30 to 35 pitches.
First pitch to Max Muncy, misses outside, ball one.
And Ryan Weathers will throw a pitch design tomorrow as well. Jack, Kyle, or Rod?
Wonder how long that pitch design session will go for Ryan Weathers. 1-0 pitch. Muncy takes just inside 2-0. I'd be curious because Weathers just threw a rehab start with AAA Jacksonville. That went 65 pitches. You would think that bullpen session goes 50 pitches, 50, 60. 2-0 pitch. Misses outside. 3-0.
I caught up with Ryan in the clubhouse a couple of days ago, and I was asking him about his outing. He walked 4 in that outing, which is kind of uncharacteristic for him. He said he was overamped, as you could imagine.
Sure.
And he was throwing harder than he normally does. He touched 99 in that outing.
3-0 pitch. A green light for Muncy, and he fouls it back. 3-1.
But looking forward to getting Yuri back, getting Weathers back, getting Sandy back on track. Cabrera, he pitched well yesterday.
1 pitch. That one ricocheted foul, and the count runs full. And, oh, by the way, you haven't mentioned the Marlins' best starter to this point, Max Meyer.
Right, yeah.
I think Yuri and Weathers back in the fold is absolutely massive.
Because it helps. It just saves the bullpen.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got some guys out there that can go at least 5 or 6 innings.
Yeah. 34-year-old left-handed hitter Max Muncy.
He's sporting new glasses now. He just started wearing these glasses.
Payoff to him. That one fouled back. He was striking out a little bit. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, because he's got one of the best eyes in baseball.
Yep.
But he went and got some new glasses. Feeling better now.
The sport goggles we saw Max Meyer wearing last year. 3-2 pitch, hit a mile high, up in the air, out to shallow right center field. Sanchez is there. Sanchez makes the catch. 2 hands for security just off his left shoulder, and there's 1 man out. And the Marlins trailing 3-0 in the top of the 4th. So that high fly out from Muncy. Now Andy Pages, who lined out to center field. Andy Pages is doing something that is incredibly hard to do, and that is break in as a young player to the Dodger lineup. There are 2 teams where it feels nearly impossible to break in if you're a guy making your way through the farm system. That went a rope on 1 hop over to the third baseman, Paulie. He gears up for a long throw across the diamond, and he gets it to Wagaman in time to get Pages. That one was shot right at Graham, but he did a nice job sticking with that at the hot corner.
Yeah, that's why they call it the hot corner. And you've got a lot of time usually at third base, especially on balls that are hit 100 miles an hour. Graham's got a very accurate arm across the diamond.
Yes, he does.
Who are those two teams? The Philadelphia Phillies and the Dodgers?
I was thinking the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yankees and the Dodgers?
Historically, it's so hard for a young guy to break into that lineup. That went in for a called strike to Michael Conforto, 0-1.
That's a great point. Really, there's 4 teams like that that's really tough for young players. The Braves, the Phillies, and you mentioned 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yankees and Dodgers.
A 1 pitch, that one golfed high in the air, shallow left center field. Myers and Stowers converging, and Kyle is the one that makes the catch. Stowers working to his backhand. Dane hopped out of the way, and that ends.
Let's see if we can figure out the following.
Enjoy a sampling of refreshing mojitos with friends. It's the ideal combination of premium cocktails and baseball action. Secure your spot today at marlins.com/offers. Steven Strom has already expressed his interest in joining the fun at Mojito Fest, but he's going to be on the clock. Is that something that you would partake in or no?
Not on the clock.
Not on the clock. No, off the clock, possibly. Jesus Sanchez leading off against Ben Kasparius, and he takes up and out for ball 1 to open the bottom of the 4th. Marlins are trailing 3-0.
And Marlins just really have not been able to get a whole lot of offense going in this contest. Myers with the only single.
1-0 pitch. Sanchez takes a floating breaking ball on the outside edge for a called strike, 1-1.
And something that they did yesterday, a season-high 17 ground ball outs yesterday. They've already grounded out 4 times today, so that's 21 ground ball outs in the last 2 days. And for a team that has a lot of guys that want to get the ball airborne, they're not able to do so. But you have to get it airborne if you're not a fast team.
1-2 pitch. Sanchez takes a spinning slider low. He swung and missed over the top of a curveball to run the count to 1-2. Now 2-2 on Jeezy. And it's funny, yesterday we were talking about JT Ginn, who started the game for the Athletics. 2-2 pitch misses upstairs. He was rolling ground balls at will. I mean, he was getting ground balls left and right. Kelly Sacco and I were looking. Is this guy a ground ball machine? No, not at all. He's a fly ball pitcher, and he was rolling ground balls all the time. 3-2 pitch. That a sharp ground ball over to first base. Freeman has it, and Freeman walks into the bag himself for out number 1.
Yeah, Sears pitched a great game yesterday. He was tremendous with that ball at the bottom of the strike zone, changing speeds. He had our guys out in front all afternoon long.
Kasparius picking up where Sears left off. But Ben Kasparius now seeing Connor Norby, who flied out to center field his first time up. First pitch from the right-hander. That one missed just low at 98, ball 1.
Clayton McCullough was talking about Norby today. He feels like Norby is on the verge of breaking out.
1-0 pitch. Norby punches one out to right center field. Hernandez is there, and Hernandez makes the catch for out number 2. Check that. That's not Teoscar Hernandez. That was a line out to right field. That looks like Andy Pages in right field. So we had some changes here. Teoscar Hernandez is out of the ballgame.
He is.
Teoscar's out. Pages moved to right field. And Chris Taylor is the new man in center field. All right. First pitch. Dane Myers did not even load up for that pitch. It was 93 on a cutter right down Broadway. In the count, 0-1 with 2 men gone in the bottom of the 4th. And Marlins trailing 3-0. 0-1 pitch. When waved at and missed, count quickly 0-2.
This Dodgers team, one of the hottest teams in all of baseball. They've won 7 of their last 8 meetings. 7 in a row before dropping that game by 1 run to the Atlanta Braves last night.
0-2 pitch was cut on and missed. A curveball bottomed out on Myers, and he swung over the top of it. The 1-2-3 inning for Ben Kasparius, and we go to the 5th. Fish trade.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang.
Is up to open up the top of the 5th. Marlins are trailing 3-0. Kim was recalled from AAA Oklahoma City. First pitch from Sandy Alcantara is in for a called strike. As the corresponding move for Tommy Edman hitting the injured list. Edman was off to such a strong start this year. He cooled off just a little bit. A 1 pitch misses outside. But Edman hit the IL just a few days ago because of right ankle inflammation. I saw him taking ground balls. 1 pitch to Kim. That one slapped through the left side of the infield, and that is the first major league hit for Hye-Sung Kim. It's an opposite field single, and we'll see if this kid is off and moving.
More than likely he will be, Jack.
We roll the baseball over to the first base dugout. Chris Woodward, the first base coach, kind of pump fake throwing that ball into the crowd. Son Kim with a nice piece of hitting. And, it's unfortunate for the Dodgers that they lose Edman for a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a long stay on the injured list. First pitch here to Shohei Ohtani in for a called strike. But the fact that they can plug and play with a guy that was really good in the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, they have this abundance of riches. It's hard to fathom. 1 pitch from Sandy to Ohtani. He is on the way. Misses low. Again, the Marlins trailing the Dodgers 3-0 in the top of the 5th, and Sandy still out there. He's about to throw his 77th pitch of the outing. 1-1. That misses upstairs, way upstairs at 96. What have you seen from Sandy the last few innings here?
He still looks the same to me. I just think that the Dodgers are such a good team.
Runner on the move. That a called strike. Throw to second base. Head first dive into second. And Kim is there with his first Major League stolen base.
And it's a team that really doesn't run a whole lot unless you have some weaknesses on your squad, which allows them to exploit that weakness. And they've already stolen 3 bases today. This is so hard because Sandy, as you mentioned, usually when he's right, throws lots of ground balls.
Sure.
But you continue to allow these guys to steal second and third base. Now you take your double play out of order.
Yep.
Dave Roberts was asked before the game today about Kim, his second baseman. He said he might steal second. He said he might steal third, too.
Lefty at the plate, nobody out. Maybe he waits. Maybe he's off. 2-2 pitch. Ohtani takes low and the count runs full.
They just don't chase bad pitches. They just don't chase.
They play winning baseball on every single pitch. And you talked about the minutia, like being okay with walking a left-handed hitter to get to a right-handed hitter. Those are things that so many other teams are not even processing over the course of a game. 2-2. Ohtani rips one out to right and deep. That got out in a blink.
My goodness.
118 miles an hour off the bat. That thing had a vapor trail behind it.
That is one of the hardest balls we've seen hit this year. The launch angle was only 20 degrees. Only 20 degrees, and that ball got out of here in about 3 seconds.
Ohtani's 9th home run of the year is a 2-run shot. And that's a jaw-dropping line drive homer to right center into the Dodger bullpen. It's 5-0 LA in the 5th.
Second home run that Ohtani has hit off of Sandy this year.
Mookie Betts pops one up and foul back behind home plate out of play. .117.9.
That's 118.
Man. That one a called strike in the count, 0-2.
It's got to be the hardest ball hit this year. At least one of them.
One of them, I'm pulling up here the hardest hit baseballs. I'll tell you where that checks in. And that one missed outside the count, 1-2 on Mookie Betts. So it's 5-0 Los Angeles in the top of the 5th. Mookie Betts so far today singled and struck out. And Mookie lines one into center field. Myers on the move. Dane Myers drifts to the spot and makes the catch in right center for the first out of the inning.
Since the beginning of the 2024 season, 18 times Ohtani has homered and stolen a base in the same game, which is more than anybody else in baseball.
Wow. That was the 7th hardest hit baseball this year in Major League Baseball. 117.9. Of the 6 in front of him, as Freddie Freeman hits one out to right center field. Sanchez on the move. Jesus Sanchez with a nice grab on a dead sprint into right center. He makes the catch on his backhand, and Jesus takes a double away from Freeman. There are 2 men gone.
It's almost like Sanchez was anticipating that ball was going to be hit into right center field because he got a great jump on that ball and took a direct route to get there, and that's how he made that play.
With 2 men out, it's Teoscar Hernandez. But of the 6 balls that have been hit harder than that Ohtani homer, 4 belong to O'Neal Cruz, the Pirates. First pitch here to Chris Taylor at his first plate appearance. That one cut on and missed. The other 2 both belong to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in Toronto. So that is the
list of 3.
A list of 3. That is the hardest hit ball not hit by Vladdy or O'Neal Cruz this year. That one, a little grounder over to shortstop. X has got it right behind the second base bag. His throw to first. Nice pick by Wagaman. And that gets Taylor by a step. But Shohei Ohtani doing Ohtani things. A 2-run homer off the bat at 118 miles an hour. We're halfway home. It's 5-0 Dodgers on the Marlins. Radio.
Take a hack.
Shohei Ohtani last half inning. Jack McMullen, Rod Allen, Steven Strom. And Chris Taylor came into the ball game as the center fielder. That pushed Andy Pages to right. 97 is in there for a called strike one to Pauly. Dodgers announced 5 minutes ago Teoscar Hernandez left the game tonight with left hamstring tightness. 0-1 pitch to Pauly. And I'm going to called strike. Back-to-back 97 in a near identical spot. Inner half, and the count 0-2. A tough break for Teoscar, the Major League RBI leader. Trying to nip this thing in the bud. 0-2 pitch. Misses low and away.
Well, if you're Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, you have so many players. They have an assortment of riches. There's no need to force Teoscar into going out there and playing with a tender hamstring. He's too valuable to their team.
1-2 is cut on and missed. Good curveball from Kasparius, and that's a punch out of Pauly. There's one man gone.
Kasparius has 4 strikeouts now, and he's doing it with a mixture of cut fastballs. He also has a slow curveball, and he's got a four-seam fastball that touches 98 miles an hour.
It's clear that they have so many guys with just disgusting stuff. And Kasparius is one of them. Jack Dreyer, another one of them we saw for the first 4 hitters of this ball game. First pitch here to Nick Fortes. That a sharp ground ball past the dive of the shortstop. Betts rolling into left field for a base hit. Fortes takes a little turn to first base, but he's content with a single with one out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nice piece of hitting from Fortes on the first pitch of the plate appearance. And now Kasparius sees Javier Sanoja.
And one of the things that Fortes was doing very well before he injured his oblique, he was swinging early and swinging often. He was making some really good contact.
First pitch here to Javier Sanoja. And misses low. That was blocked by Smith, the catcher. It would be interesting if Teoscar were to miss some time, and it could just be day-to-day. We don't know the severity of the hamstring tightness. They have a couple outfielders on the 40-man roster. James Outman, lefty bat. Esteori Ruiz, the former A. Pitch is a little dribbler in front of the mound. First base side. The catcher Smith picks it up. His throw on the run in time to first base was the inside of the first base bag. Fortes pushes to second, but there are 2 men gone on that 2-3 put out of Sanoja.
Good leadership skills by the catcher Smith, who came out and he called off the pitcher, Kaspers, tell him I have it, and he got out of the way and he made the play.
I was having this conversation with a buddy a couple weeks ago. And it's 5-0 Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th, and now back to the top, Xavier Edwards. First pitch. X pops it foul, left side, out of play. There are a lot of players that are considered really good players, but aren't talked about when you talk about the game's, great players. And, Will Smith, nobody's talking about him as the best catcher in baseball, right? You go to William Contreras in Milwaukee, Cal Raleigh in Seattle, Adley Rutschman in Baltimore before he's kind of hit the struggle bus a little bit. 0-1 pitch misses upstairs.
The guy in Philly still gets a lot of love, too.
Real mute. So, we were having this conversation as it pertained to Kyle Tucker. It was almost like before this year, and unfortunately the Marlins are going to run into Kyle Tucker next week. Kyle Tucker might have been the most underrated player in baseball because nobody really acknowledged him as like one of the greats. 1-1, that one lifted high in the air out to straightaway center. No problem for Chris Taylor, and he makes the catch to end the inning. But I feel like Will Smith, the Dodger catcher, is on the short list of the most underrated players in Major League Baseball.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show.
the manager and the former Marlin, has the Chicago Cubs playing some really good baseball after not performing well last year in his first year as a manager there.
If I asked you to mimic Craig Counsell's batting stance, I think your dress shirt would pop out of your pants.
It probably would.
I mean, you would just go hands high in the sky.
We talked about him a couple of days ago because that kid Wilson was in town.
Yeah, right.
Jacob. So everybody that has an unorthodox swing and approach, we talked about.
I love it.
David Eckstein.
Oh, David Eckstein, that was a funny one. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and it's 5-0 Dodgers. The first pitch from the new arm into the ballgame. Tyler Phillips is in for a called strike. New arm means the day is done for Sandy Alcantara. The final line on Sandy: 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. All 5 were earned. A 1 pitch. That one cut on and missed. Good breaking ball from Phillips.
But for me, he pitched better than that.
Yeah. Sandy, 4 punch-outs and just 1 walk. He allowed 2 homers. It was a 2-run shot to Ohtani. It was a 2-run shot to Freeman. Wait, what did you see that makes you think he threw better than that? Because I agree with you. That one cut on and missed by Will Smith. He goes down swinging against Phillips. There's 1 man out.
I like the fact that he came out and he established his fastball. He threw a lot of fastballs. And when we look at the numbers, I bet he threw more fastballs in this start than he has in recent memory because he was always in love with his changeup. Yeah. But the Dodgers are such a great team and such a good team. They also recognize the fact that he was using his fastball a lot more. So they basically stopped looking for the changeup and they start looking for the heater. And if he made a mistake over the plate, these Dodgers, they made him pay. But I thought he threw the ball better than he had for most of his starts this year.
Sandy today about 55% fastball.
That's a lot for him.
That's a lot for him. That missed low after a good curveball from Phillips. Started the Max Muncy at bat. So the count 1-1 with 1 man gone at the top of the 6th. So Sandy about 40% four-seamer and about 15% sinker. 1-1 pitch misses low. And he actually went to the curveball more than he did his changeup.
So my guess is he might have thought that the changeup has been the pitch that has been getting hit a lot.
Sure.
Because that was his signature pitch. But he went to the fastball today, but he just did not mix it up the way that he should have mixed it up against a really good Dodgers team.
2-1 pitch was a curveball that was cut on and missed by Muncy, so the count 2-2. And it's interesting, we've seen Sandy in some starts go to a slider a lot. He stayed away from that pitch pretty much entirely. 2-2 pitch. He is a curveball that misses outside. Count runs full.
Yeah, maybe they're starting to eliminate some pitches.
Yeah.
You know, maybe sometimes when you're struggling, maybe get rid of 1 pitch and just work on these 3 pitches.
Payoff. Muncy hits that one hard out to center field, but Myers drifting back makes the catch like he's a wide receiver running a go route off his left shoulder. And he puts it away for out number 2.
He was a good football player in high school.
Is he a quarterback?
No, I think he was a defensive back or a receiver.
Okay. He runs a little bit like a receiver, right? That straight line speed.
He was tough, though. He was a tough guy.
But he's got the arm of a quarterback.
He does.
He was a former pitcher in the Tigers organization.
Yes, he was. He's an athlete.
Good athlete.
He's a good athlete.
First pitch in for a called strike to Andy Pages. The count is 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. That one spins in. A good sweeper from Phillips. We count quickly 0-2 on the Cuban-born right fielder for the Dodgers. Andy Pages twirls the bat. He's ready for the 0-2 from Tyler Phillips. And that's a ground ball left side of the infield. Third baseman Paulie picks it up with his glove, but he can't transfer it to his bare hand to make a throw. Andy Pages legs out an infield single.
That might have been a play where Paulie would have been better served using the bare hand.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have gotten Pages anyway because he runs well, and he was already running out of the batter's box because he was off balance. But once he grabs that ball with the glove and then tries to transfer it, that's a couple of extra steps for Pages, and he'd be able to beat that ball out.
Andy Pages, he's a guy that is, we talked about it, found his footing in a Dodger lineup. It's so hard to break into as a young player. No one misses inside. Andy Pages, 24 years old for the entirety of the season. But what, kind of goes underrated with him, he's got a lot of pop. He can hit 20 homers in a given season. And he's got some speed, too. 1-0 pitch. Michael Conforto takes a called strike. It was a four-seamer on the outer edge, 1-1.
When you have a team full of veteran players like the Dodgers do, with guys like Smith and Betts and Ohtani, Teoscar, it's refreshing to have a young kid like Paez in the big leagues.
Yep. 1-1. That one ripped up the gut and through for a base hit. Paez sprinted to second base, but he broke it down there. That's back-to-back two-out singles, one on the infield, and that one hit sharply up the middle from the struggling Michael Conforto. Bring up Haesung Kim, Korean-born second baseman, making his first major league start. He collected his first big league hit and stolen base last time up. Marlins trailing 5-0 in the top of the sixth inning. The infield shifting Kim to pull. First pitch is in for a called strike, a curveball from Phillips. We were talking about this with Kelly Sacco yesterday. Tyler Phillips has been one of the unheralded good stories within the Marlins this year. A one pitch is in for a called strike. It feels like whenever they need 2-3 innings, he can give them 2-3 innings of scoreless ball or one-run ball.
He's a strike thrower. He doesn't beat himself by walking people. I mean, if you're going to beat him, you gotta get hits against him because he's not afraid to throw the ball over the plate.
Next pitch. That one wanded into shallow left center field. That's over the shortstop X's head. Pages around third. He is coming in to score. The throw went to second base, and that rolled past everybody. Wagaman picks it up on the first base line on the outside of the chalk, and Conforto pushed to third on the mishap there. It is an RBI single, the first big league RBI for Haesung Kim, and it's 6-0 Dodgers in the sixth. But after that misfire from the left fielder Stowers, that puts runners at the corners with two men gone.
That's a nice piece of hitting by Kim. It was a changeup at the bottom of the strike zone. It may have bounced even had he not swung at it, but he's able to loft it into the outfield. And Paez, with two outs on second base, got a real good break and a nice read, and was able to score rather easily on that base hit by Kim.
Brings up Shohei Ohtani. First pitch.
See, this is what makes the Dodgers a dangerous team. When you have your 7, 8, 9 hitters all getting base hits, turning the lineup over to guys like Ohtani and Betts.
Next pitch. Ohtani hits it a mile high out to left center field, with the ballpark holding this one. Kyle Stowers is calling for it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. But Dodgers tack on another run, the first big league RBI for the nine-man Haesung.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said.
Purchase our special ticket package to receive the exclusive Marlins Barbie jersey that's sure to be a collector's item. Secure your spot in Barbie Dream House. at marlins.com/Barbie.
Do you have Barbie spirit, Rod?
Not necessarily, but I can get a little Barbie spirit if I need to.
Did you see the movie?
I did not see the movie.
It's a good movie.
I heard it was good.
You should watch the movie. Ben Kasparius fires 95 by Kyle Stowers, a swing and a miss.
My kids always had Barbie dolls.
Yeah, sure. Those probably ran you up a little bit, huh? They make the credit card statements look tough? The Barbie dolls?
Yeah.
A little bit? Yeah. Those became a real thing, man. A 1 pitch from Kasparius on the way. And that one misses low. It was a breaking ball. Stowers didn't go around at the check swing. It's 6-0 Dodgers over the Marlins in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stowers, the reigning National League Player of the Week, ready for the 1-1. And he whacks and misses at 92. A cutter upstairs in the count, ball and 2 strikes.
And for the most part, Kasparius has worked at the top of the strike zone, whether it be that cutter or that four-seam fastball at about 97, 98.
1-2. Check swing. Did he go? Answer is yes. 98 elevated, and Laz Diaz rung up Stowers on a strikeout swinging. There's one man gone. Hey, baseball fans, listen up. There's a brand new way to experience the game at Lone Depot Park this season. Introducing the upgraded Bullpen Bar and Grill, the ultimate sports lounge located directly in left field that puts you right in the middle of the action. Visit marlins.com/bullpen today to secure your spot at the Bullpen Bar and Grill for an absolutely incredible baseball experience unlike anything else in the park. Eric Wagaman slapped one foul right side and out of play. The count 0-1 with one man gone in the bottom of the 6th. A 1 pitch. One misses outside. A good slider from Kasparius. Wagaman so far today has bounced out and struck out. And the 1-1 pitch. That one is tagged out to center field. Taylor broke in. Now he's drifting back, and he's going to play that off the wall. It one-hopped the wall and straightaway center. Taylor flings it in, and the shortstop Betts, sprinting to his backhand, cuts it off on one hop before it got in line with the second base bag. Eric Wagaman fooled Taylor a little bit on a 109-mile-an-hour liner to straight center, and he's got a one-out double.
That was a frozen rope that short hopped the center field gate. And by the time Taylor able to pick it up, Wagaman cruising into second base.
You know what it is? He saw Steven's T-shirt today. Absolutely saw that he was wearing that. First pitch to Jesus Sanchez. That one hit well out to right center field. The outfielder's on the move. Pages, the right fielder, picks it up on one hop. He tosses it back in to keep Wagaman at third base, but Jesus Sanchez follows the double with a single of his own. Runners at the corners with one man gone.
You're trailing by 6, so you have to be really careful if you're Wagaman at second base. But as soon as that ball left Sanchez's bat, Wagaman had to know that no one was going to catch it. And the reason why you know that is because you look and to see where the defenders are before the pitch is even thrown.
Yep.
Then when the ball is hit, you got a pretty good idea whether you can score or not.
There's action in the Dodger bullpen. Left-hander Alex Vesia, the former Marlin, is up and warming.
Last couple of base hits by the Marlins have come on breaking balls from Kasparius.
So the catcher, Will Smith, and the third baseman, Max Muncy, out to chat with Ben Kasparius.
Kasparius had been doing a very nice job with that cutter, slider, four-seam combination. Now he's mixing a couple of curveballs, and both guys have gotten base hits on that curveball.
Kasparius sweating boatloads right now. A gray road jersey for the Dodgers with the script Los Angeles across the chest. Tilting upwards. That is a different shade of gray on Kasparius than everybody else. He sees Connor Norby, who's looking to break out in a big way. First pitch. Connor takes low and away, ball 1. Connor, one of the many Marlins hitters that holds their hand high, pretty much in line with their left ear. And we were talking about that during spring training. Gold standard of that might be on the other side right now. But Norby rips one into left field. That drops in for a base hit. That stung and pulled by Norby. Wagaman comes in to score, and the Marlins on the board. RBI single from Connor. It's 6-1 in the sixth.
And Kasperius has gone to 3 straight breaking ball hits after really doing a nice job with all the fastballs, and that's going to be it for him. Dave Roberts has seen enough.
And he's going to make a move to the lefty ahead of a matchup with Dane Myers. But for a guy like Vesia, it doesn't really matter. It's fastballs that are going to get both guys. Marlins will look to counter that. Kasperius done. Vesia into the game. We'll step aside 60 seconds for a pitching change right here on the Marlins Radio Network. ADT is the official smart security partner of the... It's a great...
Game will begin approximately 30 minutes after the first one ends. Rod and Jack, back to you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Alex Vesia, the left-hander, into the ball game. I will say 2 words you never want to hear about a pitcher: forearm and shoulder. That's not good news for Corbin Burns.
No, it's not. He had been struggling, and everybody had been talking about his velocity being down after they signed him to that huge free agent contract.
First pitch to Dane Myers, misses inside, a slider in the count, 1-0.
Diamondbacks really haven't had a lot of really good success starting their starting pitchers when they've signed them to big deals. Zach Greinke gave him a lot of money a few years back.
Oh, yeah. 1-0 pitch. That one tagged up the middle, but that's hanging up for Chris Taylor, the center fielder who trotted in to make the catch.
Dane is just locked in right now. He didn't even drop the bat. That's how hard that ball was hit into the center field. He was still in the batter's box.
And that thing was smoked. And now Mark Pryor, the Dodger pitching coach, is out to chat with Alex Vesia because we have a pinch hitter. All right, so Graham Pauley is done. Augustin Ramirez is going to hit in Pauley's place, and Pryor naturally takes that opportunity to come out and give Vesia the 4-1-1 on the rookie catcher. First time Vesia.
Ramirez got off to a really nice start to his major league career. Lots of doubles, lots of home runs, mostly to the pull field. Now lately, they've been showing him fastballs inside, then going back outside with soft stuff, and he really has not been swinging the bat all that effectively lately. It appeared to me maybe up there thinking a little bit too much now.
Augustin, after starting his major league career 9 for 19, is now 10 for 43, hitting .233. Still has an .825 OPS.
He got a lot of power.
Lots. First pitch. That went in for a called strike, a slider. Runners at first and second with 2 men gone in the bottom of the 6th inning. Marlins trailing the Dodgers 6-1. Augustin, one of 3 players acquired for Jazz Chisholm from the Yankees at last year's deadline. 0-1 pitch. He waves at and misses. Good slider from Vesia. The count 0-2.
Now Vesia really doesn't have to throw him a strike. I mean, and that's his mentality. He's going to see if he can get Ramirez to chase something.
That'd be fastball up. He's got one of the better fastballs in baseball. 0-2. That one a slider.
Down.
And Vesia lets out a scream. He stares down Augustine for a moment, and Vesia walks to the first base dugout. He executed that slider low and in, and Augustine swung over.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager.
To third base. Graham Pauley was lifted from the ball game. So Sanoha is at third. Who takes a spot at second base? Well, that's Ronnie Simon. So Simon enters the game. Simon will take the lineup spot of Augustine Ramirez, who took the lineup spot of Graham Pauley. So the outfield remains the same. The infield, first to third, is Wagaman, Simon, Edwards, and Sanoha. Actually, check that. Looks like Fortes might be done. Augustine Ramirez is doing the catching now for Tyler Phillips. All right, so Augustine is still in the game, and Simon will take the spot of Nick Fortes. You have all that good in your book?
I got it all.
I don't see you scribbling much.
I've already written it down.
Sure. Alongside Rod Allen and Steven Strom, I'm Jack McMullen. Mookie Betts leading things off in the seventh inning, and that one misses low and away for ball one from Phillips. Marlins trailing 6-1 at the top of the seventh. And the pitch. At a called strike at the knees, a sinker at 95.
Yeah, Mookie Betts had some kind of scare at the beginning of the season where he dropped about 15 pounds in a week span. He couldn't eat anything. He couldn't keep anything down. He lost 15 pounds.
And he doesn't have a frame that's conducive to losing 15 pounds.
No, he was down to 145, he said.
That's unbelievable. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Answer is no on a pitch low and away.
He is one of the best baseball players in the game. Great defensively, good base runner. He's a really good hitter. He's got power. Good teammate, too.
One is a little tapper down the third base line. Sanoha plucks it on a bare hand. Throw to first, not in time. Great effort from Javi over at third base. He came on. He plucked it perfectly on time and did exactly what you're supposed to do with the throw. A one-hop and a long one-hop to Wagaman, but Mookie legged it out. He's got a leadoff infield single.
I thought maybe Paulie should have did that last half inning when he came in on one of those ground balls. I believe it was off the bat of Paez, but he tried to field it with the glove and then transfer it. Better if you can barehand it. It's a do-or-die play anyway.
So Mookie aboard at first. That's his second hit of the game, and now Freddie Freeman. Freeman took low, and he held back the check swing on a changeup, 1-0.
And one of the things that Freddie very seldom does, he doesn't give away at bats. That much we do know. And he does not swing at bad pitches usually.
1-0 pitch. And one cut on and missed. It was a good pitch, a changeup at the bottom of the zone.
Real good changeup.
Freddie Freeman grew up in California and grew up in baseball life with the Braves. 1-1. And one cut on and missed. 1-2. Another good curveball from Phillips. And, just remembering the free agent saga of Freddie Freeman that ended up seeing him part ways with the Braves and signing with the Dodgers ahead of the 2022 season. That was one of the more gut-wrenching free agencies that we've had in the last decade in baseball. 1-2 pitch is a line drive out to right center field, and the doubles machine might have another. Freeman around first, headed to second. He Betts is headed to third, but the throw to second base is on the mark, and Dane Myers with an outfield assist gets Freddie Freeman, but Freeman is still standing at the second base bag. The throw beat him by plenty, but he thinks he slid around it.
Well, he told the dugout to check it, and the dugout is looking at it, so they haven't made a decision as of yet now. And they're going to play on, so Freddie has to come on back in.
So that's a single from Freeman, and he's caught 8-6 on that one. X swiped the tag on Freeman's quad, it looks like, before his foot got to the second base bag.
One of the things that you can't do to Freddie Freeman, you can't throw him the same pitch 3 consecutive pitches, and that's exactly what Phillips tried to do. He threw him 2 breaking balls at the bottom of the zone. He came back with another one, and Freddie just reached down and hit the ball in the right center field for another base hit. You can't do that.
Yep, but credit to Dane for yet another outfield assist. A 1 pitch. That one misses just low and inside at 95. The count 1-1 on Chris Taylor. Steven, that's number 5 for Dane Myers, right? Outfield assist?
Yes, sir.
So that moves him into second place in Major League Baseball right now.
Kwan.
Stephen Kwan of Cleveland has, 8 at this point already? One misses low and away.
And Dane really hasn't been an everyday player.
Nope.
If he had been an everyday player, he would probably have thrown out a whole lot more. He's very accurate with his arm, and he's got a very nice, quick release.
Two 1 pitch. Taylor takes a called strike. A good one.
Taylor's been struggling in a Dodgers uniform since they gave him that money as a free agent a few years ago. He can play a lot of different positions. But as we said earlier, you got to hit.
Got to hit. Hasn't done that. Marlins draw the infield in with one man gone. They trail 6-1 at the top of the 7th. By the way, Stephen Kwan, the leader, has 6, so Dane Myers one shy of him. That 5th outfield assist for Dane Myers moves him out of a 4-way tie with Tyler O'Neill in Baltimore, Addison Barger in Toronto, and Teoscar Hernandez, who left the game a little bit early today.
Sometimes the guys that wind up with the most assists are the guys that teams feel like they can run on.
Yeah.
It's not the case with Dane.
No.
They know he can throw, but Kwan is not known as a guy that has a great arm.
And Kwan's,
but they run on him.
Right. And Kwan's won a Gold Glove. He's gotten that because of the range, right? He can get to everything. It's not necessarily because of the arm. 2-2 pitch here to Taylor. He's taken low and away. But Dane, it might just be a matter of them not knowing their personnel. Like, in case you don't know, Dane Myers has a cannon.
He's getting assists from everywhere, too. Center field, right field.
Payoff pitch. That one lined down the left field line. That is in for a base hit. That's rolling towards the wall. Kyle Stowers cut it off before it gets to that 344 sign down the left field line, but a run comes in to score. Betts scores from third, and it's an RBI double for Chris Taylor. It's 7-1 Dodgers in the 7th.
Yeah, we get hurt a lot on spin. And that's a breaking ball that's right over the heart of the plate. And in the big leagues these days, most guys with 2 strikes, they're looking for spin. They're not looking for fastballs these days.
I'll bring up Will Smith. Tyler Phillips has thrown that sinker a good bit, but spinning a lot. Curveball, slider. That pitch, a sinker just off the outside corner at 95. The count 1-0. Set starting pitching matchup tomorrow. It's the only one of the back two in this series that is set. One cut on and missed by Smith. The count, a ball and a strike. On Wednesday, the series finale will be a bullpen day for the Dodgers against Valente Belloso. But tomorrow at 6:40, that'll be Tony Gonsolin making his second start of the season against Cal Quantrill. 1-1. That went in there for a called strike. 1-2.
A real good sinker with some late life on it at 94 miles an hour.
Tyler Phillips, a big-bodied right-hander. Tall, strong guy. Fires the 1-2. And Smith hits that one out to left. Stowers working back shy of the track. He makes the catch. Kyle Stowers grabbed that sinking liner off the bat of Will Smith, and there were two men gone. Keeps Taylor at second base. And the Marlins are trailing 7-1 in the top of the seventh inning. Max Muncy will hit. First pitch. I want to call it strike on the outside corner. Just barely clipped the outside edge. And it's like on some of those close calls, Laz Diaz kind of builds up the anticipation before making that called strike. Oh, 1 to Muncy. That one tapped straight down foul. A curveball, and the count 0-2. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Oh, 2. Once he takes low, nice block by Agustin Ramirez on a changeup that missed in front of the plate in the dirt.
He's got him set up for that fastball. And if he can throw it about 94, 95, I mean, he might hit it, but he's not going to hit it as hard as he's going to hit this breaking ball if you hang this one.
1-2. That one cut on and missed. He went to the changeup, so he went option C.
He was a good one, too.
And Tyler Phillips bottomed one out on Max Muncy. It's time to stretch here in Miami. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Fish trailing 7-1 on the Marlins Radio Network. Alex Vesia came on. Vesia saw two hitters here, and he did the job exactly right. So Vesia hands the ball over to the right-hander Evan Phillips, with the Marlins trailing 7-1 in the bottom of the seventh inning. Graham Pauley was pinch hit for by Augustin Ramirez, and now Nick Fortes being pinch hit for. This is Ronnie Simon getting his first plate appearance of the ball game. Simon, the switch hitter, batting left. We'll see the right hitter, Evan Phillips. And a reliable back end of the bullpen arm for the Dodgers. Went in for a called strike at 95. Evan Phillips on the year, 6 appearances, has yet to allow a run. 4 2/3 innings. He's K'd 6. No runs on 2 hits. One misses low. Evan Phillips last year, 54 2/3 innings at a 3.62 ERA. But between 2022 and 2023, this guy was awesome. 124 innings at an ERA under 1.6. And Simon pops it foul, left side out of play, 1-2.
He's got a good arm. I mean, first fastball that he threw was 95 miles an hour. And then he threw a breaking ball, followed up with a cutter to Ronnie Simon.
1-2 pitch. That one slapped on the ground, third base side. That's through for a base hit. A shift beater. The third baseman, Muncy, was playing well off the line, and Simon just rolls one through for a leadoff single.
He hit it where they weren't. He's got a lot of energy. I love watching Ronnie Simon play.
There are a couple of guys that are just kind of bundles of energy. Simon, we talked about Javier Sanoja a little bit earlier in the game. Marlins are playing a fun brand of baseball.
They are. These guys are enjoying being in the big leagues. And a lot of these guys are taking full advantage of the opportunity that they've been given.
Yep. So now, speaking of the devil, Sanoja. He takes a called strike. That was a sinker at 96 miles an hour. Looking around the scoreboard, A.J. Smith-Shawver for the Atlanta Braves threw 6 no-hit innings against Cincinnati.
Really?
0-1 pitch. No misses low and away. Smith-Shawver spent some time with AAA Gwinnett, but Smith-Shawver through 6 innings, he struck out 4. He's walked 4. He's at 80 pitches. So we'll see if they give him the 7th and more. 1-1. Sanoja takes low and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Don't know for sure, but Sanoja should get a pretty good fastball here. And they're trailing by 6. Count 2-1.
2-1 pitch. That one a ground ball past the dive of the shortstop. Betts in the left. Rod nailed it, that fastball, and it was up and in, but Sanoja with a tight turning swing drilled one past the diving shortstop Mookie Betts. It's back-to-back singles to open up the 7th.
That's why it's to your advantage to try to get yourself in good leverage count, as Sanoja did there. 2 balls, 1 strike. You knew Phillips was going to throw your fastball, especially with a 6-run lead.
Marlins are trailing 7-1. The Fish are 13-20. The Dodgers 23-11. Xavier Edwards, the leadoff man up here with runners at first and second, nobody out. There is action in the Marlins bullpen. The pitch, one in for a called strike. George Soriano, the right-hander, is up and throwing for the Fish.
And Xavier batting just .254 right now, and he's a perennial 300 hitter. But one of the things that I've noticed in his swing lately is they're throwing him some off-speed pitches, and he's hitting the ball in the air a lot more than he was earlier this season.
A 1 pitch. That one hit in the air, but that's falling quickly. The left fielder, Conforto, got in, and he made the catch on the sprint for out number 1. So X, again, elevating, but that's not the name of the game for X.
No, it's not. I mean, that one, I can live with that one. That's more of a line drive, but Conforto got a really good jump on it because he was playing Xavier shallow. But it's those lazy fly balls are the ones that he should try to guard against. And also something else he should start doing is bunting every now and then. I have not noticed the X try to bunt in a while now.
He's done it a couple of times, but he should be doing it more than a couple.
Especially when you're scuffling at the plate with the kind of speed that he has.
A guy that's not scuffling. Kyle Stowers took low for ball 1.
He's seeing the ball awfully well. They really haven't been pitching to him. They really haven't given him much to hit today.
He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And the 1-0. I want a rolling ground ball over to the backhand of the first baseman, Freeman. He goes to second. They get the surefire out there. Mookie Betts trotting off, thinking that was out number 3, but Mookie realizes that is out number 2. So you got Simon pushing to third base. They get the middleman, Sanoha, and Stowers is aboard on the fielder's choice, 3-6. Leave it to Mookie Betts to forget how many outs there were in an inning. I mean, you feel like that guy's never done that before.
Yeah, he never does that. He's running off the field.
Maybe the highest IQ baseball player that we've got in the game. It's popping up, and you got runners at the corners. Again, 3-6 on that fielder's choice, and now that brings up Eric Wagaman. Pitch from Phillips, spins low and away, a sweeper.
Mookie Betts, before he went back to the infield, there were a lot of people in baseball, a lot of really good baseball men that said that Mookie Betts, best right fielder they've ever seen. Best right fielder they've ever seen play the game.
1-0 pitch.
Most guys, Jack, most guys, if you're that good in the outfield, they're not going to want to go into play a shortstop position where they really haven't played it that much. Open yourself up to that kind of scrutiny.
This guy won 6 Gold Gloves in right field. And he's open to a new challenge. Maybe because it's a challenge, but primarily because the Dodgers needed a second baseman, and he gave it to him.
Yeah.
And they needed a shortstop, and he's giving it to him. 1-1 pitch. That one grounded right up the gut. The second baseman, Kim, wins the foot race to the bag. Hesung Kim, nice play. And it did not beat the shift. It was a hard ground ball for Wagaman, but the 4 unassisted fielder's choice ends the inning. Go.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang.
Rod Allen, Steven Strom, and Soriano, the 26-year-old from the Dominican Republic. He's making his first appearance since April 29th in L.A. when he went an inning and 2/3, allowed 5 runs on 6 hits.
George has had a rough year. He really has.
In the year, 10 appearances at a 9.5 ERA. First pitch to Andy Pages is in for a called strike.
A couple of years ago when the Marlins went to the postseason in 2023, George Soriano was really, really good out of the bullpen. Last year he struggled, and he's off to a tough start this year as well.
1 pitch, popped back and foul behind home plate, shaded a little bit to the first base side.
He's got a decent fastball. It will touch 96 every now and then, 97. He's got a usable breaking ball. He's got a good changeup. For whatever reason, he just has not missed many bats up here this year.
0-2. That one hammered out to straightaway center field. Myers on the move. Dane Myers is back. He jumps up and he bobbles that ball. He goes crashing into the wall. Pahe sprinting for third base. He's in there standing up. The throw short hops Sanoha, and Dane Myers is in some pain out there in center field. Oy. I think Myers was maybe a little unsure of how close he was to the wall. He jumped up at the last moment, and Myers went crashing into that wall, bobbling that ball, trying to almost catch it like a punt return before that thing fell harmlessly to the warning track.
He appears to be okay in center field. They have not gone out to check on him as of yet, but that's a perfect example of what I was just talking about regarding Soriano. That's an 0-2 pitch. 0-2 pitches, Jack, should not be hit that hard. It's going to happen sometimes, but not consistently.
It was a slider at 87 at the top of the strike zone that Pages hit 100 to straightaway center field. Now Michael Conforto, first pitch is 95 at the knees. That's a good sinker from Soriano. The count 0-1. That's a leadoff triple for Andy Pages, and the OPS looks nicer by the day for the young Dodger outfielder. 0-1. Conforto rips that one out to right. That's hanging up. Sanchez makes the catch. Pages thought about trying it. Took 2 steps, but that throw would have gotten him by a country mile. A one-hop dart to the plate. And Sanchez shaking out his arm right now. And that is out number 1. That's a little concerning that Sanchez was shaking his arm out and grimacing.
It is. He made a really strong throw to make sure Paez was not able to get back and tag up to score. And then after that, as you mentioned, start shaking that right arm like there's some discomfort there.
Well, Sung Kim, who's 2 for 3 in his first major league start. The infield in. Kim takes a called strike 1. Slider on the outside corner.
It doesn't appear to me that Paez is coming on contact. They're up by 6 runs. A ball on the ground, he might come and he might not because they don't have to force the issue.
You got the infield in, and the pitch is waved at and missed. A good slider from Soriano, 0-2.
And a lot of times, if you come to the ballpark, those of you that are listening to the broadcast, and there's a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, you can watch how aggressive the base runner is at third, and you can determine whether you think he's coming home or not on a ground ball.
Yeah. Oh, 2 pitch. Kim pops it foul left side out of play. This has been the Marlins' recipe defensively. The infield is in pretty much at all times with a runner at third base. Fisher trailing 7-1 in the top of the 8th. With 1 man out. The 0-2. On a ground ball over to first. Wagaman has got it. Pages staying put, and Wagaman sidesteps his way to the first base bag for out number 2. Not off on contact.
No. When you're up by 6 runs in the top half of the 8th inning, there's really no reason to run yourself into an out.
Yeah. And that would have very clearly been the case. Pages still at third after that leadoff triple. And now Shohei Ohtani. First pitch is in for a called strike, 0-1.
98 with that fastball from George Soriano.
You take a peek at who's in the batter's box, and I feel like you get an extra 2-3 miles an hour on that fastball.
That's right.
The game's best. 0-1 to Ohtani. And this is low and in. Shohei Ohtani, 1 for 3 today in the 5th inning, a 2-run home run. It was the 7th hardest hit ball in the major leagues this year. 1-1. Now I'm going to call it strike. A good slider at the knees at 90, 1-2.
And the one thing about Shohei Ohtani is he's got the kind of power that he can hit the ball out of any direction of this ballpark. This ballpark, and this is not a home run ballpark.
1-2 pitch. And this is way upstairs. How does he do that? He's a big guy, but is it the rotational power that he creates?
I think it starts in the legs. I mean, this guy stays in really good shape. He's a weight room fanatic. He's stronger than anybody on their team, and he gets most of his power from his legs.
2-2. Pop foul left side, not a play.
When Shohei first came stateside, before he won Rookie of the Year, in spring training with the Angels, he could not hit water if he fell out of the boat with that high leg kick. Yeah. So he started watching Albert Pujols. He went to that toe tap, the same toe tap that he has today, and he's turned that into a World Series championship and 3 MVPs.
That one is cut on and missed. 97 elevated, and Soriano gets a punch out of Ohtani. After the leadoff triple, the run does not come in to score.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term.
First pitch on Wednesday.
4:40.
Yeah, 4:40 first pitch. I think I'll go to the studio, Fox Sports 940 on Wednesday. I haven't been yet. We've been kind of busy with the whole baseball thing. But
just gonna go check it out, meet some people.
Yeah, I want to say hey to our great people back in studio right now, Ricardo and Ahmed, punching all the right buttons. We're so thankful for the work that Grace Blazer, Will Altoff do as well. First pitch. Misses outside, 1-0.
Sanchez was out taking some early batting practice today, along with Connor Norby, and they were hitting off of a fastball machine. And Sanchez was hitting the ball extremely hard.
No injuries. Gomez into the ball game, and Sanchez rips the ball on the ground, up the gut, and through for a base hit. The right fielder Pages picks it up and tosses it back in. Marlins are trailing 7-1 in the home half of the eighth, but Sanchez hit that one hard. And it was a breaking ball after working on the fastball machine. Alongside Rod Allen and Steven Strom, I'm Jack McMullen. Connor Norby had an RBI single his last time up. That's the only Marlins scoring to this point. Came in the home half of the sixth. First pitch from the new right-hander Gomez on the way. And Norby with a foul tip held on to by the catcher Smith. Got 0-1.
One of the things that Dave Roberts does very well with his team, he's the manager of the Dodgers, for those of you that do not know that. He doesn't allow his team to play down to the level of competition that they're playing against. I don't mean to disrespect the Marlins by any stretch of the imagination.
0-1. That one whacked at and missed. Elevated gas at 93, 0-2.
But the Dodgers are one of the best teams in the world. I mean, in the world. And one of the things they do well is they just come out and play their game. They don't play down to the competition. It doesn't matter if it's the White Sox, the Colorado Rockies, or what team that is. They play their game.
0-2 pitch. That one cut on and missed. Elevated heater at 94 again, and Gomez sits down Norby on a strikeout swinging. The Dodgers, I mean, it was kind of funny to look at them and not see them atop the National League West for a couple weeks, but hey, wouldn't you know, all of a sudden the Dodgers are right back on top at 23-11. They're a half game better than San Diego, who, oh, by the way, has won 5 in a row. Dane Myers seeing Yoendrys Gomez. The pitch, Myers hits in the air out to center field. That's in for a base hit. Sanchez cruising into second base, and Dane Myers has a multi-hit day. He can't stop hitting.
He's slugging over 900, too. He's not just hitting, he's slugging.
Dane aboard. He went to meet a sweeper low and away and drive that thing to right center field.
I asked Dane, was he using the torpedo bat? He said, nope, not yet. He says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He says, however, I have a few of them, and I might use them before it's all said and done. He said, but right now, I'm not using it.
First pitch here to Agustin Ramirez is popped foul right side, now to play. Pretty much all of them have torpedo bats on the way. And, you know, we were walking into the clubhouse today, saw Matt Mervis got a fresh shipment of torpedoes. He said, I was told I have like 5 bats here. Turns out I got 10 to 15. And I said, how many are torpedoes? He said, all of them are torpedoes.
Good for him. I know Stowers has been using that torpedo bat.
Norby, one pitch misses outside. Xavier Edwards.
Stowers was one of the first ones to order it.
Yep. Of course, they are the brainchild of the Marlins field coordinator, Aaron Lenhart, who is the analyst with the Yankees. So if you thought the Yankees were the masterminds behind it, nope, we got them.
Yeah, we did.
1-1 pitch. That one hit high in the air, out to left and deep. Conforto is back, and that's a get-right swing for Agustin Ramirez. He was a little cold, but a big swing from the rookie catcher is a 3-run shot. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-run game. 7-4 Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, launch angle on that ball hit by Ramirez was 31 degrees. It was a hanging breaking ball. That's the same pitch he's been getting for the last 5 or 6 games. This time, he stayed back long enough to catch it just right to hit it in the left center field for a 3-run shot. His 3rd home run in a Marlins uniform.
An exceptionally powerful human being. 109 off the bat and 424 feet out to left center field. He tosses on the new home run hat that the Marlins have. It's kind of a take on a top hat with a Marlin stuffed animal taped to the top of it. And Agustin Ramirez admired his work. This is such a strong young human being. And he gets so much weight working to the baseball. I mean, he kind of, loads back and just fires everything all at once.
He's got those huge legs, too, Jack. And I was talking to him the other day, and I said, who was your favorite player growing up? And I pretty much knew who he was going to say. He said Albert Pujols. And the reason why he said that, he said, Albert had big legs. I have big legs. He says, as a matter of fact, he says, I used to have a stance that was identical to Albert Pujols before the Yankees kind of changed him and they got him up on that toe, and now Agustin Ramirez is born.
It's still pretty close. It's still pretty close to Albert. Good. Agustin, look, Yoendrys Gomez deep, and now it's a 3-run game. Ronnie Simon the hitter, and Gomez fires a called strike one. It was a 4-seamer on the lower outside corner at 95.
I kind of like the way that Clayton has managed this contest, Jack. Sometimes when your starters aren't doing anything, you start to empty out that bench. He brought Ronnie into the contest. He didn't start. He got a base hit. Ramirez came in and pinch hit. He didn't start in the contest. He's hit a 3-run home run. Sometimes when the other guys aren't getting it done, go ahead and go to your bench to see if they can generate something for you, and that's what they've done.
2 pitch to Ronnie Simon misses low. He took a curveball for a called strike in the lower outside corner to run the count to 0-2. But now a ball and 2 strikes with the Marlins trailing 7-4 in the home half of the 8th. Bullpen idle for the Fish. We'll see George Soriano come out there for the top of the 9th. 1-2. I'm going to chopping ground ball right side. The second baseman, Kim, has got a glove flip to first base, and Freeman had it in his leather, dropped it. Whoa.
I don't know if he caught Freddie off guard there, Jack, by flipping it with the glove. I mean, Freddie is about as sure-handed as you can get. He flipped it right to him, and Freddie wasn't able to catch it. I don't know if maybe he threw him off by flipping it with the glove or not.
I mean, Hye-Sung Kim made a heck of a play, and that backhanded glove flip, that was some leather magic from Hye-Sung Kim. But that caught Freeman on the heel of his glove, and it dropped to the dirt. A tremendous play from Hye-Sung Kim, and the sure-handed first baseman and future Hall of Famer put Simon aboard on a fielding error. And that'll be it for Yoendrys Gomez. And we'll get an old friend, Tanner.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball.
.5 ERA. That's 4 earned runs. He's struck out 15, hasn't walked anyone.
That's surprising.
Yes, we got a pinch hitter into the ball game. Matt Mervis, the lefty, takes a called strike. I think Dave Roberts saw that Mervis was coming in to hit for Sanoha and said, you know what, I'll counter with a southpaw on my own. Simon at first. There's one man out. Marlins trailing 7-4. And the pitch to Mervis is in for a called strike, too. It's surprising because he was walking a lot of guys at points with the Marlins.
When he first put on a Marlins uniform, he did not throw a lot of strikes. He's always had the power arm, a lot of horsepower in the left arm, 98, 99. On many occasions, he has touched 100 miles an hour. He went to San Diego, pitched well, and now pitching for the Dodgers. And it's surprising to me that he has not walked one batter this year because Tanner can get erratic in the strike zone.
He's faced 57 of them and walked 0. Mervis takes low and away. The count 1-2.
He has 8 saves this year. He's blown a couple. Mervis has got a lot of power in his bat. If Tanner would hang one of those sliders, and Big Matt Mervis might just catch one with that torpedo bat.
1-2. Mervis cuts and misses. 97 at the knees. That's what Tanner Scott does best. That slider's good. Fastball's great. And there are 2 men gone.
I can't think of another left-handed reliever in the sport that boasts the same kind of fastball that Scott has to get up to 98, 99. Not many left-handed closers anyway.
Josh Hader's is a little weird because it's 94, 95, but it plays so well at the top of the zone. First pitch. That misses inside. That gets back to the backstop on the first pitch to Xavier Edwards, and Ronnie Simon pushes to second on a wild pitch. The only one that jumps out to me, obviously climbed up to 105. Chapman is, kind of top flight left-handed reliever that still has that kind of fastball. But, Scott is one of the very few, maybe the only one in Tier 2 after Chapman fills out Tier 1.
Not many of them for sure.
No. We got Simon getting his lead at second base.
The Marlins have done most of their scoring this year after 2 are out. And coming into the contest today, 52% of the runs they've scored this year have come after 2 men are out in an inning.
Missed outside, the count 2-0. Marlins among the best in baseball at hitting with 2 outs and with runners in scoring position. 2-0 pitch misses inside.
We didn't jinx him, did we?
Hope not.
He getting ready to walk one.
Coming into the ball game, the Marlins led Major League Baseball by hitting .301 with runners in scoring position and 2 men gone.
How about that?
Just amazing. 3-0 pitch. Now I'm going to call it strike. I don't believe in the jinx.
Okay.
In the broadcaster jinx, I don't believe in that. Do you?
Not really.
Okay.
I just said that. I don't know. I'd take another one if I was Xavier.
3-1. That misses low, and that's the first walk of the year for Tanner Scott. And wouldn't you know, in the bottom of the 8th inning, the bad man's coming to the plate representing the tying run. Kyle Stowers, the National League Player of the Week from last week.
And left-handers really have not bothered him this year. Not at all. They have not bothered him at all.
Kyle Stowers hitting nearly .500 against left-handed pitching. First pitch, Stowers cuts and misses. Good slider at 89. Caught him in the strike zone.
I give a lot of credit to Clayton McCullough and his staff. The fact that they played a lot of the left-handers in spring training against left-handed pitching.
Next pitch, misses outside, 1-1.
And I was talking to Stowers before the game today, and we were talking about how well he's done against left-handers. He said, look at my minor league splits. He said, I was pretty good against lefties in the minors, too. So this is not foreign to him.
1-1 pitch. That one a little tapper left side of the mound. Scott picks it up. Tanner Scott tosses to first base, and that ends the threat. So Stowers bounces out to the pitcher, 1-3 on the putout, and the Marlins strand 2. But they get 3 on a 3-run home run to left center field from Agustin Ramirez. We go to the 9th. It's 7-4 Dodgers on the Marlins Radio Network.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss.
Three and 4. It'll be Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Chris Taylor. First pitch from Soriano. It is in for a called strike. This was, a game that some fans around the ballpark may have just been counting down the outs until this thing went final. But Agustin Ramirez made it really, really interesting. A 3-run home run his first home run at Lone Depot Park. 0-1 pitch is wanded at and missed. 96, well executed, up and out, and the count 0-2. But Augustine made it a 3-run game. And
the Marlins will have the middle of their batting order coming to the plate in the bottom half of the ninth inning.
0-2. That misses upstairs. Fish will send Wagaman, Sanchez, Norby to the plate. And with the majority of those three, and with Dane Myers following being a right-hander. 1-2 pitch. That one lofted into left. Stowers running on. He makes the catch on the move. Kyle Stowers with a really nice grab. He got a good first step, and he sprinted in to take a single away from Betts. One man gone.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jack, because he did get a real nice, quick first step, and he came in, and that's how he was able to make that play.
But of the first four, three of which being right-handed hitters due up in the bottom of the ninth, Dave Roberts likely turned to Kirby Yates, who's warming up in the visiting bullpen. That one, a first pitch, hot shot, ground ball up the gut, right into the shift. The shortstop, Edwards, tosses to the new first baseman, Matt Mervis, and there are two men gone. 6-3 on the putout. Soriano has gotten Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman in order, and now he sees Chris Taylor. Defensive changes after the pinch hitter Mervis came into the ball game. Eric Wagaman is now the third different third baseman today. It was Pauly, then Sanoha, now Wags. He missed low and away to Taylor. And Mervis replaces Wagaman at first. Count 1-0 in the top of the ninth inning. Marlins trailing the Dodgers 7-4. Taylor had an RBI double down the left field line his last time up. Looks like there might have been a baseball that got loose from the seating bowl down the right field line. So Jesus Sanchez had to go to the line, pick it up, toss it back into the seats, and jog back to his typical positioning. Now we're ready. 1-0 pitch. Misses low. Soriano set at the belt, and the Marlins right-hander, his 2-0 pitch. Now I'm going to call it strike on the outside corner, a sinker at 96, and the count 2-1.
Yeah, maybe that's a generous call from the home plate umpire, Laz Diaz.
We'll get Eric Backus tomorrow and Brian O'Nora on Wednesday in the series finale. 2-1 pitch, misses low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Laz Diaz, the crew chief. Been around for a minute.
I think I started my coaching career about the same time Laz Diaz was starting his his umpiring career in the minor league.
1 pitch is in for a called strike. Counts full. Where'd you see him first? Were you single A ball? Were you coaching in single A?
I coached in rookie ball in single A. He may have been in the fall league too. The 1 year I coached in the fall league, he might have been there too.
3-2 pitch is cut on and missed. 97 elevated from Soriano, and he cuts through 2, 3, and 4 in the Dodger order in order. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Fish. Kirby Yates, the 38-year-old from the state of Hawaii. Yates is a two-time All-Star, including last year, and believe it or not, he finished 8th in American League Cy Young voting. Kirby Yates, out of the Rangers bullpen, was the closer for them, saved 33 games. In 61 2/3 innings, this guy had a 1.17 ERA. Opponents on the year hit 113 against him, and he struck out 85 in 61 2/3. So far this year, Kirby Yates, 15 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs, is a 2.93 ERA. In those 15 1/3, he struck out 26 and walked 5. He's in his 11th season of Major League Baseball. And he's going to start with Eric Wagaman, who's 1 for 4 today. Again, Marlins trailing 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th. And that pitch is in at 93. I say in, it was like off the outside corner, but a called strike anyways. The count 0-1. A 1 from Yates. That one cut on and missed. A good splitter at 87, bottomed out. Wagaman swung over the top of it, and the count quickly 0-2. Do have a defensive change. Kike Hernandez is into the ballgame as the left fielder. So Kike replaces Michael Conforto. A bit of a defensive upgrade. 0-2. That misses low and away. A ball and 2 strikes.
Excited for our Eric Wagaman interview to come out either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Probably Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday makes some sense. 1-2. And misses low. That rolls back to the backstop. The splitter from Yates. We count 2-2 on Wagaman with Sanchez waiting on deck. Two pitch. Going in on Wag's hands. That's fouled back right underneath us behind home plate. Shaded a little bit to the first base side, but not by much.
What'd you take away from the conversation without spoiling the interview?
With Wagaman?
Yeah.
I think he's... 2-2 pitch to him is dribbled foul third base side. I think he's a guy that... Number one is very happy to be here, but also deserving of being here.
Yep.
Like, this guy is taking the long road to the big leagues, but he's soaking in each moment, and he's having fun, man. He's such an easy guy to root for, and I hope people that listen to it.
Yep.
It's a different feel than really any of the other interviews we've done because he's just ridiculously easygoing and so much fun to just chat with and laugh with. 2-2. That one a foul tip held on to by Smith. He chased 94 upstairs, and Wagaman goes down for out number 1. Well, that'll bring up Jesus Sanchez, who's 2 for 4 today. Is that what you took away or something different?
I just like the triangle. At least I didn't know that he was managed by Louis Durante's father.
That was cool.
And he credited him to, how he was able to compose some of his emotions. And then we were talking to Lenny. I completely forgot Lenny had him in the farm system. Aaron Lienhart.
And that one misses inside, ball 1 to Sanchez.
With the Yankees. So it was cool to connect those dots with Eric. But all in all, I agree with you. He's just a warm, vibrant guy. Like, he's easy to root for.
Yeah.
And hopefully continues to succeed up here.
1-0 pitch misses outside, 2-0. I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagaman. The signed T-shirt is hanging up in the back of the booth. 2-0 pitch. Sanchez whacks and misses with that four-seamer at 94 on the outer half. 2-1. For the Dodgers, 7 runs on 13 hits. For the Marlins, 4 runs on 10 hits. And Sanchez nearly swung his helmet off on that. 2-1 pitch. That misses inside, and the count 3-1. And Jesus with right-hander Connor Norby waiting on deck. The thing about Yates' arsenal, it's four-seam slider splitter. The splitter will be deadly to lefties. 3-1 is popped foul left side out of play. The ball was just kind of tumbling down from the 200 level to the 100 level, so little rise from the crowd here. And the Marlins are back in action tomorrow night at 6:40 p.m. Stephen will get us going with Marlins on deck at 6 o'clock sharp ahead of Cal Quantrill and Tony Gonsolin. Payoff pitch is redirected foul back to the backstop. Kirby Yates appearing in his 19th game so far this year. That leads the National League.
You said it earlier, Jack. I know that this Dodger team features Shohei and Mookie and Freddie, but that bullpen is where they've made their money, man.
Payoff pitch. That one cut on and missed. It was the split. And Yates dropped one on Sanchez. He takes a peek at Yates and walks back. And the Marlins are down to their final out. The Dodgers are a reliever factory, and they can do it with guys like Jack Dreyer and Ben Kasperius, who got them through the front half of this ball game. They can do it with guys that have struggled elsewhere that find their footing in Los Angeles, like Yency Almonte in recent years. First pitch to Connor Norby misses inside, ball one, but they can also pony up a little bit and pay. Like for Tanner Scott, a $72 million contract, and Kirby Yates, who signed a one-year, $13 million deal. 1-0 pitch. Norby hits one high in the air out to right. Page's drifting to his left. He's got room, and he makes the catch to end the ball game. Kirby Yates comes on, and he sets down the Marlins 1-2-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Marlins made it interesting with a 3-run homer late from Agustin Ramirez, but the Dodgers take game one of this 3-game set, 7-4 the final score. Totals coming up next on the Marlins Radio Network.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one?